Hello and Assalamualaikum. So today we'll make our product, which is the glazed donut. Okay, first we will pour 130 milliliters milk, and then we will pour another 30 gram of sugar and 4 gram of instant dry yeast, and then we will stir it until they became a compound. Okay, now we take 1 egg and smash it and pour it into the mixture earlier, and then we pour another 300 gram of bread flour, and then 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and then we stir it again. At this point, we will mix it until it became one mixture of the dough. And then we will see the product, which it will end up as a dough. And then we will knead it for 15 minutes. And then we put 35 gram of unsalted butter, and then we smash it together and we knead it for another 5 to 10 minutes. And then this is the process. After a while, the dough will become like this. And then we put it into a container, and then we rise it for 1 hour. After rising it for 1 hour, we will roll it, and then we will flatten it like this, and we use the donut maker to make the shape of the donut. And then we put it into a non-stick container with the non-stick paper, and then rise it for another 40 minutes. And then we can turn up the heat or fire, and then we put the oil in the pan. And then we take the rice donut and then we fry it. Make sure to use medium heat to 3 to 4 minutes. For the next step, we put 35 gram of unsalted butter we put together with hot water. And then we took 160 gram of powdered sugar, 35 milliliters of milk, and then we took the unsalted butter, half tablespoon of vanilla extract, and then we mix it again until it became the beautiful glazed topping like this. And then we put the fried donut into the topping. We mix it beautifully and we wait for 10 to 20 minutes, and it became a final product, which is the dazzling donut. Thank you. Hello and Assalamualaikum. So today we will presenting our assignment for the subject Cost Accounting 1. So our group member consists of me, myself, Muhammad Imran Farhan bin Muhammad Sufyan, Muhammad Faris bin Muhammad Rizal, Najman Hadi bin Norisham, and the last member is Muhammad Nur Arif bin Zulkifli. Okay, so a little bit of introduction for our product. We sell glazed donut, which is a type of donut with simple sweet toppings, and we sure it will be liked by everyone, and it is easy to make. Okay, so for the list of ingredients, the ingredient we use approximately used to make 6 unit of the glazed donut. So the first thing, we use granulated sugar for 190 gram, and then yeast 4 gram, and then we use egg, which is one unit, and then the bread flour, which is 300 gram. Next, we use salt, which is 1/4 tablespoon, and then we have unsalted butter, which we use 70 gram of it, and the second last is milk, which we use 165 milliliters, and then the last thing is we use vanilla extract for 1.5 tablespoon. So that's the list of ingredients we use to make approximately 6 units of our glazed donut.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So I will present to you about our receipt and cost statement. So for the receipt, it is quite same with the cost statement, so I will tell the detail in the cost statement. So in the cost statement, we have about bread flour, vanilla extract, granulated sugar, yeast, egg, meat, butter, salt, and lastly cooking oil. So it is the same in the receipt. So for the summary on our cost statement, for the material, the total is 804 ringgit and 68 cents. Our labor 560 ringgit. Our overhead is 496 ringgit and 80 cents. Our other charge is 50 ringgit. So the total is 1911 ringgit and 48 cents. So our selling price with 40% markup is 2,670 ringgit and 7 cents. So our project profit is 764 ringgit and 59 cents. I think that's from me. Thank you.
I will proceed with the presentation about technique apply for determine the profit. We used markup for our calculation, and our markup percentage is 40%. Total cost is 1,911.48 cents, and the profit is 40% times with the total cost, and we got 764 ringgit 59 cents. Our selling price must be added with the total cost and profit. So we got 2,676.7 cents. Thank you. For direct cost, we have bread flour, vanilla extract, sugar, yeast, egg, milk, butter, salt, cooking oil, and 2 direct labor, Ali and Abu. And for the indirect cost, we have utilities, indirect labor, which is managers' wages, selling and distribution, deliveries, delivery riders' wages, and marketing, rent, and indirect material, which is box. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Muhammad Faris bin Muhammad Rizal, and now I will present to you about part A. So first of all, the definition of job costing, batch costing, and contract costing. The first one is job costing. Job costing is a way for calculating the cost of specific projects that are completed to a customer's specifications. The second one is batch costing. Batch costing is a modified version of job costing that calculates the cost of each production batch. And finally, the contract costing refers to the tracking of costs linked with a single customer contract. And now I will explain to you about the differences of job costing, batch costing, and contract costing. In job costing, each work is treated as a separate entity for costing purposes, whereas in batch costing, each batch is assigned a batch number and a separate cost sheet is maintained for each batch. The cost per unit of product is determined by dividing the total cost of a batch by the number of units in that batch for job costing, and for batch costing, the cost per unit of product is determined by dividing the total cost of a batch by the number of units in that batch. Cost unit in job costing is completed job, whereas the cost unit in batch costing is a specific batch. The work conducted under job order costing is comparatively modest in size, whereas the work performed under contract costing is higher in size than the job's order. Aside from that, product manufacture for job costing is done inside the plant, whereas production or building activity for contract costing is done on the job site. Following that, expenses for task costing are both direct and indirect, but expenses for contract costing are mostly direct. And lastly, I will explain about the 12 elements of contract costing. The first one is material. Plant and machinery are the second category. The third one is labor. Then there's the additional work. Aside from that, there's overhead. Then there are direct expenses. Subcontract is the seventh option. And then there's the progress payment. Aside from that, profit on the incomplete contract. The money for retention is the next one. The architect certificate is the 11th. And finally, there's the price.